All right, you know what time it is. Once again, as usual, time's right about that time. Note to self time already, motherfucking. If you don't know, well, now you know, bitch. Straight into it. Let's do this motherfucking shit. Straight into it. All right, so I'm gonna do a rough draft. Okay, so in this video, I was watching this video of this incel, and he was saying basically, he's a black pill incel. He's a virgin. He's never had sex before, and he is intimidated by pretty women, and basically he hates pretty women because they don't like him. They've never picked him. He's always felt intimidated and jealous and envious of them. And basically, what he was saying, it was really stupid. It was like, God. No, this is just a draft, but he was saying that if you're a guy who was an incel and you've never had girls before and you're, somebody who is suffering and you're lonely and shit, and you become that person who finally gets a girl and, gets married and have kids and all this stuff, and now you're starting to get girls now, you were never an incel. And basically he was talking about those guys who were losers before and now they became successful with women, and now he's just like, well, you're a traitor. You're a fraud. You're a phony. How are you a phony? Because you're somebody who used to be an incel. You're somebody who used to be a loser, and now you've decided to take life into your own hands and be better and improve yourself because you're tired of complaining about how girls don't want you. Now you're successful with women. And you used to be in their position, and now you're not anymore. And now he's mad, he's jealous, he hates you because, well, you're an incel. You're not an incel. You're a fraud. You're a phony. How is he a fraud? He's a fraud and a phony. I mean, that's literally like telling somebody who grew up in the same street as you, grew up in the same hood as you, enduring poverty. Not being able to afford certain things. They grew up with you. They were broke with you. They didn't have any money like you. They had the same upbringing and situation to where they were poor and they couldn't afford anything. And now, situations change in their life to where they become rich and successful. And now you're telling those people that they were never broke because now they had a situation in their life that changed to where they worked on themselves, and instead of complaining about how poor they are, now they're rich, and now you're mad at them because the situation in their life has changed and you're still broke. Now you're hating on this person who is rich because you're not in that situation. You are in a situation to where you wish you were like him, but you're not. So you hate him. You're jealous of that person. Oh, he's a traitor. He's sold out because he's not broke like you anymore. So you're invalidating his struggles of being broke like you. He knows what it's like to be broke. He knows what it's like to be poor. He knows what it's like to live in poverty because he's lived in poverty his entire life, just like you. But now situations in his life has changed to where now he's successful, and now you're hating on him instead of looking at him and being like, hey, if this person who is broke can make it out of poverty, then I know I can too. It's like you're hating on him because he made it out and you didn't, because he was given the opportunity that you weren't. Matter of fact, he wasn't even given the opportunity. He crawled out of the situation that he was in through his own merits and efforts alone. Something that you could have done but were too afraid to, but didn't have the balls to do. My thing is, had he been complaining like you, he'd still be in the same situation just like you. But he isn't anymore, and you hate him for it. Because the only thing that you guys ever had in common was you guys complaining about how difficult life was, that you're broke. And now that he's not broke anymore, now you feel like you lost a friend. So are you gonna tell that person that they were never broke because they used to be broke and now they're rich? You were never broke. You were never living in poverty. What the fuck? So you're gonna invalidate all of my struggles of what I've been through, and you're gonna pretend like I wasn't that same motherfucker who was in the streets struggling with you. I was poor, I was in poverty just like you. I was that same person in poverty just like you. And you're gonna pretend like I wasn't that same person just because my situation changed financially. Now you wanna accuse me of switching up. The only person who switched up was you. Because instead of being happy for my situation that's changed, you wanna hate on me because the circumstances of my situation has gotten better. And maybe that person who made it out was probably was going to be that same person that would have tried to help you get out of that situation so then both of y'all can be up. But here you are trying to bring him down. And a traitor? What loyalty did he ever have to you? to stay being a virgin for the rest of his life because you're miserable with your life and you want to bring other people down with you because misery loves company. You don't like to see other people happy, so you want to identify with other people who are unhappy just like you, so then you can, feel like, so then you can have an echo chamber of people who are lonely just like you, a sausage fest of other guys who are losers and betas just like you, so then you won't feel so alone in being a fucking loser and a failure in life. And now that this person who used to be a failure isn't anymore, now he's a traitor, you sound like a fucking crab in a barrel. You sound like somebody who is a fucking loser who's just jealous of other people, and you don't want to see other people rise to the occasion and be great. Instead of looking at this loser and thinking to yourself, well, if this guy's a loser just like me, and he's now successful with women, then I know that if his ugly ass can get women, I know that I can get women too, and there's hope for me. Instead of thinking like that, you look at him as a traitor, as somebody who is a phony and a fraud because he used to be an incel like you, but now he's not. And it's just like, how are you going to say that? How are you just going to minimize the struggle of his loneliness, his rejection towards girls, how he's felt his entire life being lonely and miserable, not getting girls to like him? You're going to invalidate everything that he's been through his entire life because now he's getting girls and you're still not? Like, you're a fucking loser, man. You just want people to be losers with you. You're a lonely guy, and you want other guys to be lonely with you. And when he's not lonely with you anymore, now he's an enemy of yours. You're a fucking bitch. And someone like you, the only thing, like, what loyalty did he ever fucking have to you for you to feel like he's a traitor? Like, he's supposed to turn down getting women that actually like him, to feel like he's loyal to a bunch of angry, woman-hating beta males who are a bunch of fucking losers who don't get no pussy. He's supposed to feel some sort of camaraderie with you guys and turn down pussy to be with a bunch of fucking lame guys who hate women because they're just mad that they're not getting any hoes. Like, what is he supposed to do? Because he doesn't hate women like you do. Like, I don't understand. To prove to you guys that he's not a traitor, he has to turn down women that he likes just to show you guys just how down he is with being a loser. And then the thing is, what does being black pill ever do for you? It does nothing for you but make you depressed, make you hate yourself, make you have a resentment towards women, make you have a resentment towards everything around you and feel like everything is hopeless. Black pill doesn't do anything for you. You guys, the only camaraderie that you guys have is in being a loser. The only thing that keeps you guys friends is by being a loser. The only thing that you feel like your identity is being a loser. Your only identity is being a loser. Your identity is being a failure. Your identity is being a beta male. And you feel like you're mad at those other dudes because they get the chance that you wish you could have but can't. And then when you finally get married, you finally have kids, you finally break out of that incel spell, the pussy dry spell, you end up getting out of that and you end up getting married. Were you ever an incel? My thing is, if you had a chance like him to break free out of that spell of being an incel, if you had the opportunity, you'd take it and you'd run. It would be like the golden ticket. You take it and run as fast as you can away from this shit. Because this shit is depressing. This shit is lonely. This shit is devoid of happiness. It doesn't even benefit you in a positive way. It keeps you hating the world and feeling like everything is pointless. Why the fuck would you want to live life like that? And then when people break out of that spell, you want to say that they're traitors. You want to invalidate the struggles that they've been through of feeling lonely and feeling depressed and feeling rejected and all of the hurt and pain that they felt by women rejecting them. You're not the only person feeling that. Like, you fucking incels want to feel like y'all monopolizing rejection and hurt and regret and disdain and all of these things and hardships that happen by women. Y'all are not the only people who face them. Other people face them too. Matter of fact, there's people who face them on more of a magnitude than you do, you know? But you're too busy to see that because all you care about is what's happening to you, you know? Those guys face more of a rejection than you because they're actually talking to the women that they like and getting turned down by them. While a lot of you guys y'all are even too afraid to talk to women that you like. But you have thoughts in your mind of, if I talk to her, she might reject me, and then never talk to her. That's the story of a lot of guys who are incels. A lot of you guys don't even talk to women. Y'all have never even tried to make an attempt to talk to a woman. The closest you've ever gotten to talking to a woman is asking her what time is it. Fuck out of here, man. Like, these incels who have improved themselves, listen, at a certain point in time, you're gonna get tired of every man at a certain point in time is gonna get tired of blaming the world. And even if he was dealt an unfair hand, at a certain point in time, you get tired of crying. You're gonna wanna do something about it, man, because that's what being a man is. You change the situation that you're in. Even if society puts you in that situation, who gives a fuck? You have every opportunity to change the situation that you're in. You know, some of the ugliest dudes in the world can get women, bro. It's about self-confidence, being on your purpose, and proving yourself, man. And if those guys who were former incels can get girls now, dude, you can too. There's hope for you. It's just like, I've been there before. I've had that nervousness. Sometimes I still do. But at the end of the day, you can't blame women for your nervousness of how you feel, man. The only person that controls that is you. And there's 7 billion women on planet fucking Earth. And you're telling me that not one pretty girl is crazy enough to find you attractive? Not one? Like, come on, man. That's bullshit. And if you honestly believed that, then you wouldn't be, like, if you honestly believe in what you're saying, then you wouldn't have anything to complain about. You would just accept your fate of being a black pill guy who doesn't get any girls. Just, why are you talking about this? You know? Why don't you just accept your fate if you believe it's hopeless? Why are you even talking about this if you believe it's hopeless? You know? You want the world to be miserable just like you. But that's not the case, man. There's people who don't want to be incels, who don't want to be black pill, who don't want to be these things. And they want to self-improve, man. It's like, Jesus. They don't want to be losers, man. And the only person who can change that is you. And like I said before, man, these guys who you're calling traitors because they're not incels anymore, they never owed you anything. They were never loyal to you guys in the first place, and the only thing you guys ever had in common is the fact that you guys were both losers. The only difference is he's not a loser anymore and you still are. That's like telling, for you to tell somebody who was a former incel to invalidate the struggles of loneliness that they've been through because their situations about them changed, you're invalidating their fucking experiences of what they've been through of being lonely. And it's not fair to them. Just because you're still lonely, you want to bring other people down and feel like, oh, well, you were never an incel. Shut the fuck up. If you ever become an incel, or if there ever comes a time in your life where you start to get girls now, were you ever an incel? If you ever decide, because he says that he wants to get married and have kids by an attractive woman, if that ever happens for you, were you ever an incel? That's the thing. It's like you don't want, it's almost as if a part of you likes being an incel. A part of you likes being a loser. A part of you likes being black pill, because it's like, that's your identity. Your entire identity is being a loser. And if the situation in your life changes to where women actually do start liking you, then you're gonna have to question a lot of things that you once believed about women. And you're gonna realize that maybe that you were wrong. Maybe it's not so hopeless. Maybe you're gonna hate yourself and who you are if you finally do start getting women to like you. You're gonna feel like you're gonna become those very same Chads that you've always hated and envied and despised. So you wanna remain a loser because you feel comfortable with being a victim. You feel comfortable with being a loser because nothing, you get to change nothing and blame others for everything. And that is a horrible way to live life. You're like a fucking hermit, dude. You are past the thing is, black pill does nothing for you. It depresses you. It makes you hate the world. It makes you hate yourself. It makes you hate everything. Why would you want to identify with something that brings out that dark part of you? Like, Jesus Christ. You don't even like being this. You're just like this because You have no other choice but to be that. But that's not true, because you actually do have a choice. You just feel like you don't. And you're always going to be in that same position because you refuse to make that change for yourself, man. I mean, I understand the struggles that they're going through. Nobody understands the incels and loneliness and all that shit. Nobody understands that more than me, because I dealt with that shit, bro. Everybody, like, you're not the only person who's felt that. Your situation could change, but you just gotta believe that it can. And if you don't believe in it, that's why you'll always be that person that you are, being miserable. The only power that you feel like you have is the power of being miserable, the power of just complaining about things and never making any changes, so that you can blame the world for everything, instead of taking matters into your own hands. No accountability. The same thing that you complain that women don't take accountability, you're not taking accountability for your own life by changing the situation around you. You feeling like it's hopeless, that black pill mentality, that's you taking no accountability for your own life. Which, that's why I fuck with the red pill so much, because even if you fuck around and go through that red pill rage, you're able to, once you calm down and you see the world for what it is, you become solution oriented and, you know, have that self-improvement mindset to where you can better yourself. See, the thing is, lots of people can say that the red pill has helped them out. Red pill has gotten you to see reality for what it is. Red pill, because you're red pill, you've gone out, self-improved, went to the gym, started working out, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. You're more attractive to women nowadays. You can see through a lot of their games and bullshit, and you're able to navigate around the game to where you're able to get the women you want and desire without going through any of the bullshit. Like, you can see through the games without going through a lot of the bullshit. The ball's in your court now. This is what red pill teaches you. There's lots of benefits to the red pill, but there are no positives to the black pill. The only positives that they are to the black pill is you having a camaraderie with other people who are losers like you, feeling like it's hopeless. And if you feel like it's hopeless, then shut the fuck up. Just give up and don't make any fucking videos. Don't complain if you feel like it's hopeless, if you feel like you can't change. And if you want to change, the person who has the power is you. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say, but until then, I'm out. This is just a draft. I'm probably going to make the video to where I'm actually going to react to what it is that he's saying, but like, I'm going to be saying I'm going to be saying things along those lines of, you know, and I'm also going to be reacting to his video. There's 2 videos that I want to react to, but this is one of them. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, but until then, I'm out. Peace.